So we've had a lot of people ask, how do I set up the nGauge? And we've noticed there's not really a lot of support as far as the Camaro or really any of the community is concerned. So I'm just going to go through a quick rundown of how I have my personal gauge set up. I've wiped all the settings, so we're going to start completely over. After we have it set up, you won't have to touch it. It'll turn on as soon as you open your door. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to tuning, vehicle info, turn the key on. It's picked it up. Then we want to go to, sorry, this is the wrong screen. Diagnostics, settings, sleep wake. We want it to go to sleep mode. On the alternator off is what I had it set on before. Actually, vehicle data off might work as well. Wake mode, I had it on vehicle data. It seemed to work very well. Idle, let's turn the idle up a little bit. On, off. I don't know if the 13.2 works. I had it on 13.3 before, and then I dropped the off down to 12.5. Like I said, there could be other data that works very well. This is just what I had working for me. And then the X takes us back. Brightness, I like it pretty bright. English. You can calibrate the touch. It seems to be doing very well right now. Startup mode, this is an important one. So whenever the gauge starts up, instead of taking you to that triple menu that it did right when we started, I like to have it on gauges. So as soon as I start the car, it's already on all of my gauges that I have set up. So now we're going to go to the gauges, connect to the car. Like I said, this is just the setup. You won't have to do this every time. This is a one-time deal. So right now it's scanning the car. It's going to find out all of the data. There's something like 100 pieces of data that it will put out. We want to go to GM all. Alright, so it's found 103 pieces of data that the gauge can read simply off of your ECU. That's nothing else added, that's no extra tuning, no extra sensors, 103 pieces of data. So it has 4 pulled up right now. The ones I personally like, I'm going to click that. I'm going to change the signal. RPM, I actually like RPM, so I favorited it, so it will always be easier to find. Then I'm going to switch it to 6-pack, and I want to change the display of this signal. So that's on IAT. Normally you would want IAT 2. The way my car is actually set up is we have it wired into the IAT. So back to return. Engine oil temperature reading. I actually like this one. But we are going to set up a parameter for it. So I need to go to sorry. Having a little trouble. Display, there it is. Alright, so low warning, it's -40. It's never going to be, your engine oil temperature is never going to be 140. I like mine to let me know when it is above 250. It's a cast iron block, blower car, Texas heat. I use really thick oil, so 250. Now when it's at 250, the data will turn high color. It'll turn red. Alright, now we'll return to the gauges. We'll go back to the IT and we'll set up this display as when I start pulling timing at 100. I actually start pulling at 145, I think, but I'm going to put it at 150 will be my high warning. Normal color, low color, high color, that's all fine. E85%, that's another one that I like. There's no real reason to set up, but just as to show that we can. Low warning, we'll say under 70%. High warning is, well, that's not really imperative. So back, return. So right now we have two IATs. So right now we have IAT 2, so we can get rid of this one, and then we want to change the signal to boost. We're going to favorite boost while we're here. My car makes generally makes 11 pounds of boost, but off the hit it can make up to 18. So we're going to put low warning, again, is completely irrelevant, and we'll put high warning at 20. Exit. We're going to go back to our gauges. So now we have boost, IAT, engine oil temperature, 85%. And then right here, we are going to find the oil pressure. There it is, engine oil pressure. We're going to favorite that as well. We're going to go into our display. So you can actually change the name of it. It's EOPR. I could change that to whatever I want to. I'm just going to leave it like that. We're going to go down, low warning, under, let's say under 30. High warning over 70. Exit, return. So boost, IAT, engine oil temperature, engine oil pressure, 85%. And the last one I'm going to do is I'm going to do fuel rail pressure because I have an auxiliary fuel pump kit. So in my I have a stock ZL1 fuel pump. It's been in there for a little while, so fuel rail pressure is kind of one of the things that I like to watch just to make sure everything's running all right. And we're going to change that to a low warning of 40. So here's your display, and then we're going to let it turn off. We set the idle time for 10 seconds, so we're going to sit here for 10 seconds. We actually have these mounts available for our 5th gens. We have them for the 6th gen as well. The cool thing on the 6th gen is it actually lets air come around it from behind the gauge, so you don't completely lose your AC. Alright, so it's turned off, and because we have it on vehicle data, if I were to open the door to get in, stick the key in. Power's on. It's going to load up its sequence. And there's all my gauges that I set. And that's that. It's that simple, guys. It took me 10 minutes to explain this all to you. Realistically, it takes 5 minutes to set this thing up. Hopefully this video helps.